Welcome back to the Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Time to go over another tool. Now, this tool has been around for a while, actually. Just not many people, I think, know about it. And when we come up with our schedules, so every week we come up with a week preview. We tell you who has the best schedules. On the weekend as well, we tell you who has the best schedules. We're always using this Off Nights tool, which I want to explain to you how to use because it's extremely powerful. Now, we didn't exactly build it. We helped kind of give advice on what would be useful. But Brandon's cousin, Renee, actually built it. And so props to him. Thank you. And he let us kind of host it on our site so that it would get more traffic and everything. And he thought more people would get use out of it. So let's walk through exactly how to use it because it's extremely powerful. And I highly recommend checking it out pretty often. Okay, so the setup is pretty easy. There's team logos, there's, the current week schedule up here. Now, the thing that's really powerful about this, which is different from other ones if you use like Daily Faceoff, Left Wing Lock, and all that, they tell you the number of games, but they don't actually assign to you a weight of how difficult that game is. So if we look at what this does, the first thing that's most important to see is the score. So it gives you a score for each team that given week. So you can sort by score if you want to. And to explain exactly how the score works, you get 1 point for a game. You get half a point for an off night, 0.25 points if the opponent is tired, and then you get subtracted 0.25 points if you as a team are playing tired. So it adds it up and actually gives you strengths. And so, for example, let's say someone doesn't necessarily have the best off nights, but on the weekend you're looking at, well, who has the best schedule for the weekend? I only need Saturday, Sunday starts. Then you can look at it by the score and say, oh, well, they're playing tired teams, so obviously they're going to be better. Now, the other thing that's really cool, too, is you can actually sort the score or filter out the score based on days that you have room. So say, for example, this coming week, right, on the week of the 28th, I know that I don't have room on Saturday. So I can, up here where it says include current week score, I can uncheck Saturday and the score will now not reflect Saturday. So you can now sort, and it gives you a ranking based on the strength of schedule when Saturday is not involved. And so this is really powerful because when you go through your roster, you can say, well, I have Tuesday and Thursday open, but I don't have, Saturday open or whatever. So then you could say, okay, well, I'm completely busy there, so I'm only going to include Tuesday and Thursday, and it'll give you scores for just Tuesday and Thursday and the people that would give you the most starts or the best schedule for those weeks. Now, it doesn't give you difficulty of the game, but that's okay. I think at the end of the day, that's not super important. You can go look at that on Money Puck or just kind of see it here how it is. But that part is really good, and it also helps, of course, with streaming. When you need only ads on the weekend or something, you can just look at Saturday, Sunday. Now, another few things to explain here. The off nights are defined by when there's a night where less than half of the teams are playing. So when less than half of teams are playing, that's an off night. Most people will normally look at it and say, oh, well, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday are off nights, and that's it. But that's not exactly how it works. Or they'll say like, oh, Monday, Wednesday. I think normally it's Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday are like the known off nights. I think Friday in there as well. And so people will look at it as only those days. But there are weeks where, for example, a Thursday is an off night. So it's not as easy as saying like, oh, it's only these days of the week. It's better to look at it as how many people are playing that actual day, because that's when you're most likely to have spots open. So this counts it as just when there's less than half the teams playing. So it's really powerful. The other thing that's really cool is it actually looks at next week as well. So if you're thinking of picking up, for example, say you're looking at this coming week and you're saying, well, who do I want to pick up? There's Vancouver and Calgary. They kind of have a similar score. They both have equal amount of off nights. Also, highlighted teams, so teams with color, are off nights. So if they have color, that's an off night game. But then what the next week thing is pretty powerful for is you can look at it and say, well, what about next week? If I pick up a Vancouver player, will they actually be useful next week? And then the same for Calgary, right? You can look at it and say, okay, well, this is a streamer spot. Can I maximize that streamer spot into next week? What it also helps with a lot is, for example, this week I needed to make a pickup for Saturday and Sunday. So let's look at just Saturday, Sunday, right? So you can score here. You can rank by the score for this week. But then what you can do is say, okay, well, if I'm picking these teams to stream from, obviously, first and foremost, I want to see who has the best schedule. Now, secondly, though, if that schedule to me is even between these two teams and the players are somewhat even, well, then the tie break should go to what's the score next week. That's when you'll maximize the efficiency of your pickup because you'll be able to get games for them next week as well. So it's honestly a pretty powerful tool. I really recommend you using it. It's what we use to generate all our schedule suggestions and schedule previews. I use it constantly to make pickups. It's extremely useful. I recommend you checking it out. I'll put a link down in the comments below. and let me know what you think. If you want anything added too, let us know what you'd like to see. There's a few things that I know we've talked about that we'd like to see added, and we can always float those over to Brandon's cousin. And again, thank you to him for building it. So I'll catch you next time on the next tools video. Thanks for watching.